Think about this. In 2006, $20,000 equaled roughly 33 ounces of gold at spot price. At today's prices, those 33 ounces would be worth about $165,000. That's why many smart Americans diversify a portion of their savings into precious metals. And that's why you should consider buying gold from Birch Gold Group. For thousands of years, gold has been a store of wealth. And today it's a crucial part of any balanced strategy. Even better, Birch Gold can help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered retirement account in gold. Just text MK to the number 989898 to receive your free info kit on gold. There's no obligation, just useful. This is not for us. So lots of similarities there when it comes to work ethic and being an alleged grifter. Didn't get along with Harry. He doesn't get along with William. And of all the things that he's said and done, as documented by this book, I have to give him the warning that he gave Harry when he got together with Meghan. He was not in favor of it, and he saw disaster written all over it.
So what is the takeaway from Prince Andrew's advisory about Meghan Markle? It is not that Andrew is a wise man. He is not. His own life is a cautionary tale of bad judgment, worse friendships, and spectacular public collapse. But even a broken clock is right twice a day. And on this one thing, this single narrow thing, he saw the trajectory before almost anyone else. He told Harry the marriage wouldn't last. He said Harry was being controlled, isolated, and used. And whether or not you like Andrew, whether or not you believe Meghan is a victim or a villain, the fact remains. The royal family hasn't been this divided since the abdication. Harry isn't coming back full-time. Meghan isn't coming back at all. And somewhere in that vast empty royal lodge that William is so desperate to reclaim, Prince Andrew might just be sitting in a leather chair, staring at a television, and saying to no one in particular, "I told him so." Hey.
Well, I mean, I can't really comment because I've focused as a historian on the story of Andrew and Sarah Ferguson, so I can only go from what I've kind of read. But I think the feeling generally in Britain is the marriage isn't going to last. Harry will, I'm afraid, still remain with you because his children. So there's a huge personal animus there, as well as William's concern about the reputational damage to the family. And he's the guy who's got to pick up the pieces. In some ways, the likelihood is that Charles is just going to pass the baton on to William and let him solve the problem in the way the Queen has done it with Charles.
Yeah, you write that not a great relationship with William. He resents that Andrew was rude about Kate, and William has long worked behind the scenes to evict his uncle, Andrew, from Royal Lodge. William refers to Andy as a tosser, perhaps not as bad as the vile names his brother Harry uses. Harry refers to Andy as a poofda.
Of course, Harry didn't listen. And now, here we are. Montecito, California. Podcast deals that come and go. Netflix, contracts that expire. A constant churn of publicity, leaks, and lawsuits. Meanwhile, back in London, the family has hardened into factions. William wants Andrew out of Royal Lodge permanently. Charles is caught between his two sons, desperate to see his grandchildren but terrified that any private meeting will end up as a paid exclusive with an American network. And Andrew? Andrew is largely sidelined, disgraced, but oddly vindicated. He gave that warning years ago. He was mocked for it, then vilified for it. But time has a way of turning uncomfortable predictions into uncomfortable truths. No one in the family is thanking him, but no one is saying he was wrong either.
I mean, I think they all saw this when I was writing my book on the Mountbattens in 2016. All the gossip in the royal household was about how unsuitable Meghan was, and it would all end in tears. And clearly, Andrew was one of the people who was saying that. I mean, so was William. Everyone could see this was a disaster waiting to happen. But I think Andrew was a little bit more vocal about it than some of the others, and that upset Harry. There were fisticuffs. I mean, both of them have resorted to their fists on numerous occasions. There's a story which actually has come out in Robert Hardman's book about the Queen, which actually I allude to in mine, of a fight with the head of the household, Tony Johnson Burt. But yes, there were fights with Harry. There were fights with others, and because William was cross with Andrew because basically Andrew didn't think that Kate was a suitable bride. She wasn't posh enough, and even as a child, William found him a bit of a creep.
And here's where the story gets even messier, because Andrew's advisory about Meghan wasn't just about her. It was about a pattern. If you look at royal history, certain women have been labelled unsuitable before. Wallis Simpson, the American divorcee who took Edward VIII off the throne. Sarah Ferguson, the red-haired, breezy, financially reckless Duchess of York who blew up her own marriage and then spent decades trying to claw her way back. And now Meghan. Andrew saw the same red flags. Ambition that didn't fit the royal straitjacket, a willingness to break with tradition, and a magnetic hold over a prince who should have known better. The difference is, with Edward, it was the king. With Andrew, it was his nephew. But the advisory was the same. She will take him away. She will isolate him. And he will regret it.
Well, clearly there's no love lost between King Charles and his brother Andrew. And I think you make that clear as well, that those two, they're not particularly close, and Charles is not protecting Andrew, at least at this point. And you write in the book that Andrew really didn't get along with many people. He loved his mother, or at least she loved him. But he...
Now, was Andrew being protective? Was he being cruel? Or was he simply being the one person willing to say out loud what everyone else was whispering behind closed doors at Buckingham Palace? Because according to multiple accounts, including royal biographers who've interviewed staff, courtiers, and family insiders, Andrew wasn't alone in his concerns. William had them. Even Charles, for all his public warmth toward Meghan at the wedding, had private reservations. But Andrew was different. Andrew was vocal, aggressively so. He told Harry he was going bonkers. He accused him of doing no due diligence on Meghan's past. He called the whole thing a disaster waiting to happen. And Harry? Harry didn't take it well. These weren't quiet disagreements over tea.
Any encounter they have, and the story will be sold to the newspapers. So it is a bit of a mess. No one wants a dysfunctional family like that, but I'm afraid that is the story of the royal family. They can't seem to get on with each other.
The similarities you point out between Meghan Markle and, yes, Wallis Simpson, but also Sarah Ferguson are pretty stark. And the story, this actually just broke from Rob Shooter, who we love. He goes on The Nerve with Maureen all the time. And this is his exclusive, that Fergie was in talks with two NBC executives to do a daytime talk show in America. They
see more of that. We have a sign that Harry may be able to come back and have security paid for by the taxpayer here, which will make him feel safer. But it's interesting that when there have been occasions where the king could have met Harry, I mean, not least in his recent visit to the States, that didn't happen. And I think there's always a suspicion that Harry will leak. The king is caught between the two brothers, and whatever he does, he's going to upset one of them. And it's a bit of a mess. What happened with the Duke of Windsor is he did every so often come back and see his family as long as his wife.
Let's go back to something that's been buried under years of scandal, lawsuits, and Netflix specials. Before the world knew Meghan Markle as the Duchess of Sussex, before the Oprah interview, before Megxit, there was a warning. And it came from the most unlikely and, frankly, the most compromised member of the royal family, Prince Andrew. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why should anyone listen to him? But here's the thing, being a flawed messenger doesn't always make the message wrong. Andrew saw something early on that others would only admit in private, years later. He watched Harry fall fast and hard for an American actress with ambition, a past, and a very clear sense of her own narrative. And Andrew didn't just raise an eyebrow. He went to Harry directly and told him, in no uncertain terms, that this marriage wouldn't last a month.
Yes, Wallis Simpson, but also Sarah Ferguson are pretty stark. And the story, this actually just broke from Rob Shooter, who we love. He goes on The Nerve with Maureen all the time. And this is his exclusive, that Fergie was in talks with two NBC executives to do a daytime talk show in America.
Any encounter they have, and the story will be sold to the newspapers. So it is a bit of a mess. No one wants a dysfunctional family like that, but I'm afraid that is the story of the royal family. They can't seem to get on with each other.
Pure and simple. If you like videos like this, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell icon for more royalties.